All right, Drake out. Drake drop. Yup.
When did he come out?
October 6th at 6 a.m. when he was in the 6.
I get it. I'm putting 3 and 3 together.
You know what I mean?
Yep. With his woes.
Come on now. That's 2015 Drake, but that's fine. That's cool.
That's okay.
You haven't listened.
I have.
I played a little something.
Yeah.
I played a little something. Give me your first reaction to what you heard in the car when I played it for you.
I don't understand. Now, Drake fans come after me. That's fine. I don't understand what he's saying half the time, and I don't know if his lyrics, if you really read them, if they make sense. It's kind of, you were explaining to me, it's a specific. Are you okay?
Sorry, y'all. I don't know how all them balloons popped up on the screen, but well, take it again. Take 2.
You have balloons?
It's popped up on the screen. I don't know how. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what his lyrics mean because to me it sounds nonsensical. Are you okay?
There's mad balloons on the screen.
What are you talking about?
One more time. Start with Drake.
Is it okay? Drake. I don't know what his lyrics mean. They're a mystery to me. It's like he's talking about everything but nothing at the same time. You were explaining to me it's like a vibe.
Yeah.
But to me, it just sounds like he's making stuff up on the go. But that's just me.
Which part do you not understand? Are you like, I don't understand the words you're saying, or I just don't understand why you're telling me?
Sometimes I don't. You know, he like starts a sentence and he mumbles off the... But then there's other times where you hear the lines. You're like, I was at the club. I saw you. I had 3 drinks. Your eyes. Da 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 da. And then you're like, these are just words you put together in one paragraph.
Yeah. Here's my understanding of Drake.
Go ahead.
The lyrics are very important, but only about 30% of them.
Okay.
Okay. It's about cultivating a vibe. It's about having this one line that you relate to, and then you build a story from it. So he's going to be like, I'm so sorry, girl. I know
Yeah.
For all the things I did to you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I can fill in the blank.
Yes.
Of like, I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I cheated on you mad times. You know what I mean? I lied to you 11 times.
Yes.
And then by the time the story is done, he's like, for all the things I did to you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, that's a vibe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to hear all the other stuff.
Okay.
Like, okay,
Right.
whatever. And then if you hear too much Drake, let's be honest, you're going to catch a couple cringy bars that you're like, oh, I don't know if I needed to hear that.
What did he
You know what I mean? So he says some wild stuff. He's been alluding to things since he said he told 21 to do something for him.
That's
okay.
That's true.
Let's go back to 21. Can you do something for me?
Yeah.
That line alone.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's crazy, bro.
That's flagrant.
I don't know how I feel about that.
That's a little
flagrant. I like that. That's flagrant.
That's flagrant.
Uh-huh.
That's a little zesty. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then on that same album, he came out with the purr.
Yes.
Hit everybody with the purr mid bar somewhere. It made me think about the nail emoji, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, that's another flexible bar, but okay. All right, I'm gonna just let it slide.
Yep.
Then he came out this time with the clips in his hair.
I saw that.
All right, came out with the clips. Then he came out and he said, I think I'm bi. Cause you remind me of one of the guys.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And I was like,
now you're like, okay, continue.
Then he said we was out there at the gay clubs with you. And I was like, Drake, it's okay, dog. We in 2023. You could let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Hanging out with Yachty, I don't know what kind of relationship they got. That's my guy, though.
It's all fluid.
I like Drake.
Yeah.
All right, so the album, you don't understand what he's talking about. Man, I got so many thoughts about the album. First and foremost, Drake has some kind of evil power. Okay. I say that because the first 7 times you hear an album by Drake, it's trash. Then one day in the right setting, in the right place, at the right time, a song will come on from the album and it's fire. And you're like, oh, was I just not listening to the song? Was I unfamiliar with this? Like, is this new? You're like, oh no, this is from 2021. And it's fire. It's flames. It happened to me so many times. Happened to me recently.
It's not within the year the album came out. You're saying you're discovering it.
Sometimes it could be in the same year.
Okay.
But it depends on when the album dropped. If it dropped in October, probably in February, you're going to be like, no, this is lit.
Okay.
I listened to Meltdown, Travis and Drake. First time I heard it, didn't dislike it, but I was just kind of like, it's just more Drake. Now, I can't get it out of my head. I'm obsessed with the song.
That's crazy.
I play it 30 times a day.
Where are you listening to these songs?
Apple Music.
I mean, locationally. Like in the car?
Everywhere. I'm at the gym with it. I'm like, I could wake up middle of the night. Yo, I need to turn that song on.
Okay.
Like, there's some kind of hold that he puts on you. I remember when I was in Connecticut, my cousin and I listened to Her Loss for the first time together, 21, a Drake album. Man, that first time I listened to it, the first 3 times I listened to it, I was just like, man, this is whack. And then I think I was at the gym when the first song on the album came up with the 21, Can You Do Something For Me? I was like, what's this little freak talking about?
What's this freak talking about?
When I tell you, I started going crazy.
Oh, shit.
I was like, oh, snap, this is fire. So I'm going to go into this review knowing in X amount of months, I might think differently. Okay. That's not to say I'm going to hate it, but I'm just saying I might think differently.
Okay.
First and foremost, I don't know what's up with Drake and his album titles not matching the content.
Okay.
Since Certified Lover Boy, he's been dropping albums that have nothing to do with the title. Certified Lover Boy, he's running around with a heart in his head. You would imagine what kind of music would be in an album called Certified Lover Boy.
Right.
What kind?
Like nice, kind of ballady, sing-songy Drake.
It would probably be like a little R&B vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that.
It's all bars.
But then, no, it's just not that vibe. It's just a album. It's just songs put together. But over time, all right, you know what? I kind of like it. First time I listened to it, I was like, it's cool. But then over time, I'm like, I like this a little bit more. I like it a little bit more. It's cool. After that, he drops Honestly Nevermind. I know nobody likes that album. I know that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh.
I could listen to it a million times over. I love that album. Right. Devion earlier today said it sounded like Fruity Loops. The
program.
Yeah, the program. And I agree, and I still like it. Her Loss. I'm listening and listening and listening and listening, and I'm like, what's going on here, man? This ain't hitting. Boom. February, March. Now I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the one.
Nice.
Now it's not his best, but it's really good. Now we have this album. This album is called For All the Dogs. What you think gonna be on an album called title like that? Yeah. For All the Dogs.
Tracks, raps, all kinds of like
heartbeats. Misogynistic stuff. Just evil. Yeah. Like just raw, just raw, just It ain't that.
It's all nice. Well, the tracks you played, man, I was like, this isn't.
It ain't Fat D at all.
It ain't Fat D at all.
It ain't Fat D at all.
I don't think it's for any of the dogs.
It ain't. I think the dogs are women.
Okay, for sure.
For all my dogs.
Oh, lady dogs. I read ya.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that he tricked us.
I like that.
Okay.
Maybe
Now,
that's what he did with all the other ones. It's not her loss. It's his loss.
Her Loss is the title, and it ain't the album really ain't have much to do with Her Loss.
Yeah.
But CLB, yeah, whatever. All right. That's one thing. Next, he marketed this as like this is the old Drake. Stop it. Let's just skip over that.
Yeah.
Stop it. All right. A thing that I hate that Drake does is that he no longer makes melodies. Like memorable melodies. If you really think about the last big single he had, I'm talking about the last one that really swept everybody up, was really God's Plan.
Mm-hmm.
God's Plan, and then off the same album, probably Kiki, Do You Love Me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 21, Can You Do Something For Me was a good moment, but it wasn't a hit song. As much as I don't like God's Plan, I feel like back in the day, he was making kind of like pop, hip hop, singy, rappy, melodic songs that the melody is going to stay in your head.
Right.
I'm begging for an old school Hotline Bling.
Yeah.
I want another Hotline Bling.
Hotline Bling.
Because it's passion fruit, fire. Because it stays in your head.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, dun, dun.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like a song.
Yeah.
But when he's crooning on the beats and you just don't even know where these notes came from, it's just like, and you know, and then I'm just like, when I'm done with you.
Yeah.
When I see her in the club with you. And you're like, how am I supposed to hum along with that?
What the hell?
How am I even supposed to remember the... How am I supposed to remember that?
And the name of the track either, you know?
And then the name of the track be some random stuff. Coke bottle, ice water.
Right.
You know, like, what?
Emoji. You're
Right?
Like, huh?
You're like, bruh. All that being said, the album's kind of nice.
All right. Okay.
I
What do you
didn't
rate it?
have the same about it that I had with some of the other albums.
Okay.
Which grew on me.
Mm-hmm.
This felt kind of like Dark Lane Demos, which is an album I don't really play very much, but I remember when I finished playing it, I was like, that was actually pretty good. So it's not a great album at all. It's not great. Drake, I think, is in his absolute worst when it comes to like writing. Mm-hmm. The bars are not very good. Mm-hmm. And the subject matter is pretty awful. I need Drake to step away from wanting to always make music for young folk. Make some music for young folk, but then don't abandon the people who've been listening to for years. Yeah. Drake always exists in this other pocket of music that doesn't sound like today. It doesn't sound like yesterday. It just sounds like a Drake song.
Right.
And the best thing about that is it's timeless. If you think about the moment that Drake switched over to try and make songs for young people, none of those songs really lasted. They may get a lot of streams at first and whatever, but they're not songs that change, that move the needle. They're just songs. And because you're the biggest, they're big songs.
Right.
But it's not like what we want, you know? I just am looking for some more art. Mm-hmm. I remember when he did a song with Santiago years ago, and it was just so dope hearing a new sound from a new person. Now, I get it. You got to compete with the market. So you got to do songs with Yeet. You got to do songs with Lil Yachty for some reason. Right. I like Lil Yachty. I like that experimental rock album. Probably shouldn't be the guy who you're getting your music advice from. I honestly, because you were talking about Joe Budden being a failure. Well, Yachty hasn't really succeeded that much either. You know, and for him to be your like Calvary, I don't know about that one. I like Yachty, but him advising you or whatever Yachty is doing that we're hearing in the music, it's just not really hitting. Your core audience feels desperate and hungry and thirsty, and they're just looking for real artistry. So you said you were going to take some time off. I think you should take like 3 years off and then just like take a couple music classes and just like go back to like how to make a melody. How do I sing a song that people are going to care about?
Right.
How do I rap about things that like other people care about the way I used to back in the day? When we're asking for old Drake, we're not asking for the old music. We're asking really for you to relate to us again. We understand that you're big and you're a billionaire and you're rich and you have a plane and you're this and you're that, but you're still a human being and you just have to relate with other human beings. That's all we're asking for. But when you're making songs that I like, unfortunately, I like it, but it's still like, you messed up my Bahama trip.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I like that. I like the passion that you have talking about it. You don't hear that a lot from people, but I like that.
It's a character.
I've been making them up.
Okay, but yeah, what I like the album. I think it's cool. I don't know if I'm gonna spin it a lot. I might, because I just like them and I like the song. It's a cool vibey thing. You just put it in the background. But to be the guy that we want you to be, you can't come up with some of the bars that you came up with. Something like a 2-year-old. Who to go? Cringe.
Okay.
I think I'm bi because you're like one of the guys.
That one
like,
threw me off. I was like, wait a minute. What'd that mean?
That's like, we were fighting over a girl and it was like 3 Jasons or something. It's like, Drake.
Yeah.
This is you're 36, bro. Like, this is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like your numbers would do just fine if you just dropped an album that you were like, okay, I'm going to section this off into quadrants. I'm going to have quadrant number 1 is going to be for the youth. I'm going to give them my absolute 4 best youthful songs.
I like that. That's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Then after that, I'm going to do like quadrant number 2. That's going to be kind of like the 30-year-olds, you know, and like what they like and what they're looking for. And they're looking for like real rap, you know, like we want real rap from the guy that really rapped. And if you're talking about you're the GOAT, give them like GOAT bars. I liked 8 a.m. in Charlotte. That's like a timestamp. It's supposed to be where he really raps. He dropped some like cool bars and he dropped some like cringy bars. Like he said, I got so many checks, I feel like I'm Czechoslovakian.
Oh boy. That's a stretch, sir.
No, bro. I'ma still listen to it, but nah, bro. Then the next is like link up with. I wish I could just A&R your album. Link up with real R&B icons. You have the resources to do so. Mm-hmm. Go to Usher. Go to. I mean, you linked up with SZA, and I feel like SZA's more talented than you are. So, at making great R&B songs, and SZA's the female version of Drake. So, I feel like SZA went down doing those 2 features for you than meeting you where she was. But maybe meet up with Summer Walker or like people or Janae again, and like make more really, really good R&B songs, or Chris Brown again. And then the last 4, you can kind of just get into whatever bag you want to get into. That's Jamaican. You want to go back to the UK. Shoot, we need an Indian Drake. Who knows? Yeah. Like, just give them whatever you feeling.
Yeah.
But now that you have this guideline, yeah, people are going to be like, all right, I didn't like the first half, but the middle part was for me. Cool. Right, then the young folks will be like, oh, I like the first half a lot.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
But now, like, you just giving us an album full of, like, A, things we heard of before, and then B, things for the youth, for like 17-year-olds. Like, who freaking cares about that? Now I understand they're gonna be the ones that stream the most. They're gonna go to the concerts the most because they're dumb and they spend all their money. Right. But like, bruh, we got you to where you are. Yeah. The past 15 years, we did. Don't alienate us.
Yeah.
Try harder, bro. But I like the album.
All that to say, it's all right. That's pretty good.